Welcome to DSE or No DSE 2005, where the cases can make a change to not only your teaching repertoire but also for your students. That's right. Tonight we have Gary Notalot from Yelling Park High School. Good to have you here with us tonight, Gary. So having the DSE 2005, will you be making a deal tonight?
Thanks for having me on the show, Eddie. It was amazing when they called my name out at the staff meeting. Yeah, the Disability Standards for Education 2005 don't affect me, so I'll be like, no deal.
Oh wow, Gary, that is interesting. So why do you think the DSE 2005 doesn't affect you as a teacher? I mean, aren't they the standards for education?
Oh no, Eddie, you see, I am a mainstream classroom teacher. Those standards are meant for the special education teachers. Nah, doesn't affect me. Oh instruction of the standards, nah, nothing to do with me. Oh, conferred. Oh yeah, that's in regard to consultation or discussion. What? Wait, what? That can't be right. Educational institution, surely they are meaning the special education unit or schools. Yeah, nah, all good, I'm mainstream. Phew.
Oh, my goodness. So need a commercial break. It is so commercial break time.
In Article 1, a person with a disability is able to seek admission to or apply for enrollment in an institution on the same basis as a prospective student without a disability, if the person has opportunities and choices in admission or enrollment that are comparable with those offered to other prospective students without disabilities. So, yeah, keeping your academic status isn't an excuse. Under construction of Standards 1.6 paragraph 2, cannot be construed as being entirely within power. Interpreting in a particular way as pretexting a reason given justification of a course of action that is not the real reason. For example, our enrollments have closed unfortunately.
Oh, it seems I have been a bit behind the 8 ball. I'm sure they said in the last year's staff meeting that it didn't concern us. Oh wait, was that the school fate?
Cut, I said cut. Can you explain 2.2 again? I mean, on the same basis. It sounds rather to the point regarding making reasonable adjustments. Gary, it seems like mainstream education is in fact a provider.
Yeah, sure, Robert. In Section 2, an education provider treats a prospective student with a disability on the same basis as, wait for it, a prospective student without a disability if the provider makes any decisions about admission or enrollment. Again, Robert, on the basis that reasonable adjustments will be provided in accordance with Section 5.2. Of course, one will have to refresh their memory by going back to specific subsections, such as, Note 1. Subsection is relevant to subsection 4.2.2. Essentially, construed accordingly, hence interpreted within the conferred power of the Act. Having said that, Robert, 4.2.2, it's about making a decision to enroll the student with disability and treating the same as other students without a disability, and therefore, without experiencing discrimination. Then one can go back to the definition of discrimination as stated in the preliminary. Also, under this section, Note 2, an education provider, A, and B, is within power conferred by the Act.
Okay, let's see if there's a case with Brian. Can he have the DSE 2005?
Oh, I finally get it. It's about inclusive education, equitable access.
So Gary, what will it be for Disability Standards for Education 2005? Deal or no deal?
Deal. Let's go on to part 3 with making reasonable adjustments.
So will we have another new case that embraces the DSE 2005 in their teaching practice? Let's find out.
Wow, without realizing, I have been using this all along. All the time my colleagues were telling me I was too soft. It all makes sense now.
Eddie, if you had asked me this yesterday, I would have said, no deal. Not because I don't support the students with disabilities. Unfortunately, our workload as classroom teachers is challenging at times. You know, Eddie, the more you reveal elements of the Disability Standards of Education 2005, the more I am partial to fully comprehend the how, why, and what I should be doing. Deal, Eddie, deal. Being on this show has been the best thing that's happened to me. It kinda helps me reflect. Funny thing happened to me on the way here. Oh, just didn't realize. I mean I did but I didn't. Does that make sense, Eddie?
Alrighty then. Not quite, Gary. Why don't you tell us about what happened?
Okay, there has been a report stating an increase with red light runners. We should keep an eye out.
What? It's like they totally disregard the road code. How do they think that they can disobey the law?
Evening, officers. Why did you pull me over?
Evening, sir. Did you realize the light was red? Any particular reason for you to run a red light?
Oh yeah, nah, running a red light doesn't apply to me, officer. You see, I got a fast car, 600 horsepower big block 427. So I can get through, no worries. I'm not sounding rude, but haven't you got real crime to be chasing instead?
Part 1, Division 2, Section 5. Compliance with standards. 1. In this regulation, unless otherwise stated, a reference to a standard using the designation made up of as, and a number is a reference to the standard as in force from time to time under that designation.
Part 2, Division 2, Section 16 NBSP. Who is a driver? 1. A driver is the person who is driving a vehicle, except a motorbike, bicycle, animal or animal-drawn vehicle. Furthermore, Part 6, Division 1, Section NBSP, 59 NBSP. Proceeding through a red traffic light. 1. If traffic lights at an intersection, bicycle crossing or marked foot crossing are showing a red traffic light, a driver facing the red traffic light must not enter the intersection, bicycle crossing or marked foot crossing. Maximum penalty, 20 penalty units. Now, we have to follow legislation and policing powers to the letter. If we didn't, crime would reach new heights and the vulnerable would fall victim to those not upholding their civil duty. And young man, that includes the police doing the job. If I see a crime, even though I am in a traffic unit, it's still my job to act accordingly by following regulations, sanctions and/or directives from other executive arms of government.